Well, sweeping changes from the top down. Candidates running for Minneapolis mayor going on the record to say there are problems with the current culture of policing.
And Fox 9's Christina Palladino reports State Representative Raymond Dean claims not all officers need guns.
Representative Raymond Dean is one of several candidates running to beat Minneapolis Mayor Betsy Hodges in the fall. He recently won the support of voters at the Democratic Farmer Labor Convention, and now his call to disarm police of their side guns is garnering major attention.
I'm not saying that they don't have access to that, because just like they have access to more lethal forms of weapons in their cars, I would believe that they would still have access to their gun in their cars.
Dean says there needs to be drastic changes in how officers are trained. He would be open to officers using other means to protect themselves, like a nightstick or pepper spray.
I think that as we begin to look at how we change policing and how we get officers to not react, to use their gun in situations, but learning skills around de-escalation training and all of those types of things I think are important.
Currently sitting in City Hall is Mayor Betsy Hodges. She's trying to keep this office and disagrees with Dean's proposal.
And if we're going to talk about changes in gun policy, we shouldn't start with police officers who will then be operating in a world with people who have guns.
Hodges says her efforts to keep dialogue open and transparent, as well as bridge the gaps of racial inequality, will bring lasting change to police and community relations.
Opponents are running on ideas that either work that I'm already doing or things that we are already doing as a city. And because we agree that the transformation needs to happen.
Dean says the details of his no-gun proposal are still in the early stages, and he wants to sit down with police officers and come up with a strategy that keeps both the community and law enforcement safe. But the head of the police union, Lieutenant Bob Kroll, says there's not a chance this idea would fly with any cop.
I don't think the people in Minneapolis logically are ready for anything like this. Who would ever do the job of policing again? I mean, it's absolutely an absurd thought.
And Fox 9 reached out to several of the other candidates running for mayor. All agreed that there needs to be substantial reform within the police department, but they say stripping officers' guns is going too far.
The door and turn the lights off.
Graham encountered Officer Mohammed Noor weeks before he shot an innocent woman dead. The retired social worker lives less than 2 kilometres away from where he pulled the trigger on Justine Bruschek.
She calls the police a lot.
And on one occasion on May 25 this year, it was Officer Noor who responded to her 911 call. She reported there was a strange man smoking marijuana at the back of her house on a retaining wall.
We saw the policeman at the door. And a lot of times what she likes to do is call in a 911 and then lock the door and turn the lights off.
But court documents obtained by 9 News show that Teresa is claiming Noor and 2 other officers forced their way into her home. She says Noor snatched her mobile phone from her before grabbing her by the arm and wrist so she couldn't move. It's alleged the officers told Teresa she was in a, quote, mental health crisis, so they were taking her to hospital. Graham is suing Noor for false imprisonment, assault, battery and negligence. The case was filed against him on July 14, the day before he shot Justine.
I bet that didn't help him as far as being at ease in his job.
Something could have happened, but I think if it did, she probably exaggerated it.
Neighbours who've known Teresa for nearly 30 years are defending Officer Noor.
You need to take it with a grain of salt and not tar and feather him before what we figured out really happened.
We now know Justine called her fiancé Don first last Saturday night, telling him she could hear a woman screaming. Don said she should call 911 and she did. The couple then stayed on the phone until Justine told Don the police had pulled up. He said, "Call me back." That call never came. 1 week on, he's planning her funeral and has set up a memorial fund in her honour. A legacy for his lost bride. In Minneapolis, Alexis Daish, 9 News.
Always be switched on in the wake of... Minneapolis police have changed their rules on body cameras, ordering that they should always be switched on in the wake of the shooting of Australian woman Justine Damond. Live now to US correspondent for the Australian newspaper and Sky News US contributor Cameron Stewart. Cam, this comes as a warrant claims the police heard a woman bang on their car shortly before Justine was shot.
Yes, Tom, it's a very mysterious warrant, this one. It was issued by the investigating authority, the BCA, to search Justine's home shortly after she was killed. It does say that the woman slapped the back of the police car shortly before the fatal shots were fired. Now, you would assume that this meant that they're talking about Justine, but the actual warrant does not confirm that. It does not say which female or exactly what the nature of the slap is. It certainly adds yet another complexity to this crime, and it's very hard to work out exactly the events that have transpired, but that's what's happened in the warrant.
Minneapolis mayoral candidate Raymond Dehn proposes disarming cops in wake of Damond shooting. A candidate in the race for Minneapolis mayor has proposed disarming police officers in the wake of Justine Damond's shooting. The Australian woman was shot dead by police officer Mohammed Noor after calling 911 to report a suspected sexual assault. Officers don't need to carry a gun on their person all the time, said Raymond Dehn, one of the front runners in the mayoral race and who currently serves in the Minnesota House of Representatives. Currently, officers carry all sorts of assault weapons in their cars. So why can't one of those weapons be the sidearm, such as a baton that sits on a holster? It's important that we begin to have a conversation, and I would say that all things are on the table. We live in a culture where guns are pervasive. Cops carrying guns is part of a larger conversation about guns in our society, he said, according to the Star Tribune. Mr. Dehn faces embattled Minneapolis Mayor Betsy Hodges in the November election, and the death of Australian Justine Damond has put the issue of police reform front and center. Mayor Hodges moved to sack Police Chief Jeannie Hardeau last week as outrage grew that it took her 4 days to return to work from a hiking trip after Officer Noor killed Damond. The 40-year-old life coach had called 911 to report a possible sexual assault happening outside her home. Noor shot across his partner Officer Matthew Harity as Damond approached the window of their car wearing her pajamas. 2 weeks after Damond's death, no charges have been filed against Noor, and he is yet to give a statement on the incident. Mayor Hodges had barely started explaining why she sacked Ms. Hardeau when protesters drowned her out last week. "Bye-bye, Betsy," they chanted while waving signs that read, "You are next." The July 15 shooting of Damond follows a number of other controversial shootings by police in Minnesota since Mayor Hodges was elected in 2013. Tensions with police exploded in November 2015 after 24-year-old Jamar Clark was killed by a Minneapolis police officer after his partner told him to shoot following a struggle. Protesters surrounded the area's police precinct for 18 days. In July last year, Philando Castile was shot and killed by Officer Geronimo Yanez after being pulled over with his girlfriend and her 4-year-old daughter in the car. As Castile reached for his license, Yanez fired 7 shots, 5 of which hit Castile. Last month, the Castile family reached a $3 million, a $3.76 million, settlement with local police. The shooting prompted the rollout of body cameras for Minneapolis police. However, when Damond was shot, neither Officer Harity or Noor had their cameras turned on. Mayor Hodges joined Acting Police Chief Medaria Arredondo on Wednesday to announce changes to the body camera policy, including requiring officers to turn them on as soon as they are dispatched to a call. She rejected suggestions the changes were a knee-jerk political move and said it was already contemplated before the tragic shooting death of Justine Damond. "One of the toughest things that all of us in Minneapolis have had to face is that after all the time and money and energy that we have put into making sure that we have body cameras in place, we didn't have body cameras in the incident where it mattered a great deal," she said. "My expectation is that we have these cameras in place, and that remains my expectation."
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but they cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts. 4 hours a day, and to save America. You know, but at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So, but getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon, which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal. And there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. Is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just I'm just letting you guys know it's, yeah, that dream. Everybody gives $1. 53,000 subscribers, it's not working. So yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know, we're already debt free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself. 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, we have cell phones, we have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know too, now we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So if you can give more than that dream of everybody giving $1, yeah, that old video, that's not working. They're not, they're just not. So anyways, if you can give more than that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that, that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now, where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran in, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran in, no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But, so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month. If you can, I appreciate anything. By the way, remember, too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But, and there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way, what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it. But it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So that case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know that $1 a month from everybody is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.